Blessings, bright ones, and welcome to day 11 in the Creative Matrix, where all is uplifting and inspirational. All ignites our spirit to focus upon that which is supportive and nurturing, all that expands our awareness and lifts us into new heights of understanding. And today is day 11 in the Creative Matrix, but it is the day of love here on the earth plane. Today is Valentine's Day, a day that just reminds us to connect to the beauty of being in love, of being, existing, living in love. Not just with one individual, not just with those who we care for, but with life, with self, with source. We're opening our awareness to be a radiant force of love upon this earth plane, of divine love that is not attached to any outcome or any need to represent, to have. We're stepping into divine love where everything feeds our soul. We begin to really sink into the gift, the beautiful gift of acceptance, of nurturing, unconditional love. And this is so exciting for those of us who understands what this means. So exciting for those of us who have been working on ourselves and know that we are here at this moment of loving being. This can also be incredibly challenging for those who are not comfortable in love. And we're asking all of us to just release from judgment and just to accept that there are many of us who have been hurt by the idea of love. There are many of us who have been searching for love that seems to be always just a step away. There are many of us who are processing great loss because the love that we value, that we treasure, has been taken away in some way. Love can be very complicated upon this earth plane, only upon this earth plane. And this is why we begin to step into divine love. In a state of divine love, we begin to recognize that all life is in motion. All life is in motion. All experiences, all moments, all sacred breaths, they all bring us forward to the next stage of our life. They all bring us forward. And sometimes love, true, authentic, passionate, graceful love comes into our life for just a moment. It's not always for a lifetime. Sometimes it's for a moment. But can you imagine how full our lives would all be if we began to welcome in these moments of authentic love? Imagine how full our hearts would be, how inspired we would each be throughout our journey if we began to welcome in love as a pure, authentic expression, whether it is for a moment or a lifetime. Divine love, this is the frequency of our own soul's truth. Divine love, acceptance, appreciation, valuing of all that is, truly celebrating all that is, this state of divine love. This is who we are. This is who we are. It's our spirit, it's our presence, it's the voice of our heart, that beautiful sacred heart within. Knowing that we wish to be in joy, we wish to celebrate life, we wish to be inspired. We wish for all of these things that allow us to feel safe and secure in this moment. This is divine love, and it is who we are. All of these perceptions that we are separate from divine love, these are learned perceptions. We've adopted these false truths upon our journey. Somewhere in our path, our extensive path, we began to question whether love is real, whether we are worthy of love, whether love sometimes costs too much because we perceive that there's an exchange that takes place. But love simply is. It cannot be bound to any expectations. It cannot be bound to any form of limitation, because love is timeless. And when love is pure, it presents itself in this perfect moment. But with the presence of love, we begin to shift and change who we are, how we see the world. Love creates. Love is the force that creates all life. So it's natural to begin considering that we are divine love. This is who we are, our most natural states. And this is why so many of us are longing sometimes to either be in a sacred relationship, in a deep, intimate relationship, or to deepen the relationships that we are in. All of us are yearning for this deeper connection because we sometimes are very hard on ourselves. Although divine love is our truth, and we've adopted so many false understandings, so many limited perceptions of truth, that we sometimes feel insecure and incomplete within ourselves. But when we welcome this beautiful mirror, this beautiful reflection of love in our life, for a moment we begin to believe that we are special, that we are worthy, that we are lovable. We sometimes need this reflection to remind us of who we are. Now, it doesn't have to be that way. This is the way sometimes that we are being guided forward. It's natural for us to search out that source of love anywhere we can find it. How we really grow, how we really step into the creative matrix, how we really come into our own self-empowerment is to remember that we are already our own source of perfect, pristine, precious, divine love. All of the compassion we are searching for, we can find it within. All of the inspiration we've been searching for, we can find it within. All the validation, all of that identity and belonging, we can find it within. It takes a moment to really shift our awareness. Woo! It takes a moment to shift our awareness and to come into that state of self-awareness, to self-confidence. It takes a moment to shift, but we can do this. We can remember every single time that we're searching for something outwardly, that we are our own sacred source. We can find this within. And some of you might be saying, yes, I've found that. I have a beautiful, intimate relationship with myself. I have learned to really step into self-acceptance. but you're ready for more. So let's take it to the next step. If true divine love asks for nothing, it expects nothing, it holds no attachment to what will be, it simply is, right? We can only begin to love, truly and passionately love another, when we are not searching for the validation within, when we are not searching for that element that will complete us. It's so much easier to step into true, passionate love upon this earth plane when we're already feeling confident within. Once this is so natural to us, once we can look into the mirror of self and know, today, I am the best that I can be. Today, I love myself as I am. Today, I accept myself in all of my perfect imperfection. Because remember, we are a work in progress. We are this beautiful master, just remembering that we are a master. So there is a process of expansion and evolution. And we celebrate that growth. We celebrate that change. We no longer judge it. We celebrate it. But today, I am the best that I can be. And when we have that within, we know we're not searching for something outwardly, but we begin to recognize that I'm ready to celebrate life with the beautiful souls, all of the beautiful souls that are ready to recognize, appreciate, and understand the beauty, the potential that is when we're all ready to come together and create life together. We're all ready to breathe greater expansions of love into being. This is when we begin to truly cultivate love upon the physical plane. We begin to cultivate these paths of acceptance, of beauty, of just being all that we are. If there is still any attachment to needing love to be present, needing a relationship to be present, not in wanting it to be, that's different, okay? That could be healthy. But in needing it to be, for you to be safe, for you to be validated, then we are still in the practice of finding what we need in an outside source. We're still looking for our own nurturing, our own feeding of our soul, our own inspiration from an outside source. And that almost always becomes momentary. Simply because everything you need cannot be found in this one source. Your soul is infinite and it yearns to remember everything that it is. So there must be flexibility in welcoming in all that you need from the sources that perpetually feed you. And that is the source of self. Remember that all of the relationships in our life, as beautiful as they are, fleeting or more extensive, as beautiful as they are, these souls, every single one of these souls that is in a relationship with us, remember that their journey is to do what's best for themselves. So although they want to love you and they want to support you on your journey, their priority in life almost has to be with themselves, to honor what is right for them. You actually, I'm itchy for a moment. You actually don't want them to compromise that. You don't want them to put anybody else first if your love is true. If your love is true, you know that you are fed from within and you want someone right here that is so confident within themselves that they are ready to walk into that next stage of expansion together, where we are able to hold on to another beautiful embrace. We're able to just link our energies together and know that our united energy, our united love gives us strength and power and motivation to move forward in our own journey. In our own journey. Although we love each other and we're here to share in this, you realize that we're still directing our paths forward, because we can't get lost in any relationship. We can't get lost in any relationship and allow it to be only love. If I said that correctly. What I mean is that the moment we need a relationship to be present, there are some other motivations in play. It's no longer only divine love that is guiding us forward. There is a connection to that which we think we will find. So it's important, dear ones, when we are learning to welcome greater expanses of love into our life, that we spend precious time with ourselves. We learn to be honest with our own thoughts and our own emotions, with everything that shapes our perception of life. And if you, in any way, are still holding on to elements of fear regarding relationships, and this is incredibly natural. Well, natural for our society. It's very natural for us to feel still the remnants of fear that we once held on to. But it's no longer supporting our journey forward into self-empowerment, because we're beginning to trust that we are so beautiful, we are so lovable, that we welcome in the beautiful souls who can understand that, who can recognize that and appreciate that. And if any other soul, and we're talking across the board, we're not only talking about these intimate relationships, any other soul, if they're not able to see you through the most beautiful eyes, through the most beautiful lens of perfection that can be, then let them make decisions that are right for their own personal journey. Let them find their way through. Because if you're honest with yourself, do you want to hold on to anyone who is not able to see you, to appreciate you, to celebrate you? I've been on a long journey of searching for love in many ways, of believing that perhaps it's just not real sometimes. Perhaps I am enough. And the truth is that all of these paths of self-reflection, they are all signs of incredible growth for your soul. Every time you ask yourself a question of what really is, what is your path, what are you part of, your soul is asking you to reconsider. What do you believe? What do you believe is true? What do you want to place your energy into? We cannot look for, we cannot imagine ourselves to understand what love is through the mind and the intellect alone. We must become so brave that we go into ourselves and we are able to sense love organically expressing itself within and throughout. Through all of these beautiful experiences we are part of. We have to go within and recognize when love is authentic and real, and let go of the attachment. Let go of the attachment and just be in the essence of what love is. By sinking deeper into that sensation that you feel, it will awaken the resonance within. One moment of being authentically in love will remind your soul that you are ready for more. And so you begin to welcome more into your life. But it must begin right here, with organically, innocently, authentically knowing that I love myself first. And in love with myself, in this state of divine, beautiful acceptance for self, I know that I am ready. I'm ready to explore this love in greater ways. So I welcome in all the beautiful souls that wish to explore this love with me. Does that make sense to you? We're not looking for somebody to hand it to you on a platter one day. We're looking for somebody to join you on the journey, so the two of you lift each other higher so you can discover love in even greater ways. And it's so important to know that, yes, we're talking about these intimate relationships, these soul connections and partnerships that really allow us to feel as if we are part of something greater than ourselves. But we're talking about these subtle relationships that fill our lives each day. We're talking about the exchanges we have with people in the park or along our path anywhere. We're talking about our partnerships at work and our family. We're talking about all the relationships that we are part of. In order for us to be present in the most authentic way in these relationships, we must begin to know who we are within, to know what makes us who we are, to know what we are worthy of, to know what we are ready to co-create with when we are in these reflective relationships. We must begin within. The more you are confident and alive and bold and authentic within yourself, the more you will draw in that same beautiful frequency and vibration in other souls, other experiences, other environments all around you. It's important, dear ones, to know that you are the heart of divine love. You are the embodiment and the spirit of all that is love. But you are on a journey to discover yourselves. So when you come into perfect fullness right here within yourself, we encourage you to move forward and step into relationships that allow you to explore that knowing more fully. Be in love. Be in love. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself to greater and greater expansions of being. Because when you come to deeper knowing within, there will always be more to step into. You are infinite. You are infinite within yourself, and the universe is awaiting your call to bring you every opportunity to know love. So let's allow this to be. Here's my divine prayer for each and every soul that is. May we stand in the radiance that we are, celebrating the light of our hearts, knowing that this gift of life is here to lift us into greater celebration of being. We welcome into our lives every soul that sees us, that knows us, that understands us as we are. We allow ourselves to be in this sacred union of hearts and souls across the globe and throughout all realms of being. We allow ourselves to be in this sacred union so that we may discover ourselves more completely. And so it is. There's a rush of energy coursing right through. A rush of energy coursing right through my being. It's still like little lightning bolts just coming right through. And I'm just going to say, I accept, I allow, I receive. May I walk in the light of love. May I be all that is an inspiration to love more deeply. I see you. I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you for journeying with me today. Namaste.